Hey everyone, thank you for watching once again. Great to know that have a good support of people watching this, and I definitely appreciate it, and I hope that you all have gotten some good information from watching these videos here. Uh, I apologize for the delay in making another update. Uh, I really haven't had much to update you all on for a good few weeks after I made my previous video, so now I have a few things that I can update you all on. First of all, when I got back to campus, definitely great to hear the feedback from my friends and peers and professors saying how good the jaw looks. So definitely exciting from that standpoint. So something I definitely appreciate, and most importantly, I can start chewing again on like softer, solid foods, if that makes sense, and I'll get into that a little bit later. So definitely lift up my spirits a little bit. No more, no more truly liquid diets. That's really exciting. Um, so it was actually a little bit of a struggle when I first came back to campus. I had ordered a blender, same make and brand, model, and it actually broke about a week after I had gotten it on campus, and that was a little bit frustrating. And I had to make do for a little bit, and it happened right like a few days before the Super Bowl, and I had planned on, getting wings, like boneless wings, and blending it up, and that. Luckily, one of my friends was willing to let me borrow his blender, so I used that. Worked great, and I was able to have somewhat of a decent Super Bowl dinner, if you will. And actually, in addition to that, when I had first got the blender, the blender that I had ordered, I had also bought a bunch of chicken stock so that way I could blend up whatever I needed to blend up. And it turns out the chicken stock was actually bad, and I had been taking food that I would get from like different dining places on campus, and I was blending that up, and I was getting like not nauseous, but a little of an upset stomach, and I thought it was just the food that was getting me sick. But then after a while, the smell just kind of gave it away that the chicken stock was bad. So that kind of was a little bit unlucky. But I got more chicken stock, and the the borrowed blender did its job. So again, very appreciative of that. And so since I am away from home, I now have to uh, take pictures of my bite and send them to my orthodontist, and he can see the updated progress. So it's like I'm taking selfies and sending it to my orthodontist, I guess. So I did that a few weeks ago, and like 2 weeks ago, and he responded and told me what to do next. So as you can see, I have a new bite, or not bite, well, it's a little bit different, but I have a new elastic formation. So you can see there, so it's almost it's in a triangular formation now. So instead of having that one that went way across, it's a little bit different. Uh, the actual bite is still needs to be adjusted, so everything's lined up to the center. So hopefully, by the summertime, everything will be set. But I'm certainly not necessarily in any rush. I know this is a long process, so um, just got to be patient with this stuff. Uh, so, as I said, I can now eat again. I was able to start on last Wednesday, and the first thing I had was a hamburger and some fries. Um, yeah, I don't think you'd really think this, but the hamburger, because it's grounded up meat, it's already grounded up. It's quite easy to chew, so I did that. And I had the buns on there. It's because I'm not fully able to open up my mouth all the way. Of course, without the elastics, uh, it's a little harder to get all of the hamburger in my mouth. So I've had to cut it up with a knife and then eat it like that. But fact is, I can still chew, and that's the nice part about it. No real crunchy stuff yet, so I've still kind of had to be a little careful with like fries. I gotta kind of feel around to see which one's soft, which one's crunchy, and go from there. Had some vegetables, so that's been really nice. Pasta, so the carbs are always a good thing. Trying to gain the I don't know, the 10 pounds that I lost. So, trying to think. I had some like powdered donuts, like little donuts. So that was interesting. But I think that the biggest, I don't want to say surprise, but it definitely took a while to realize that I could actually bite with my front teeth. If you look at my very first video, you can see that my front teeth could not go down at all, and at first I was starting to chew on the sides, and it's like, oh wait, I can actually bite and to a certain extent rip on the hamburger, and so that's one thing. And then the other thing is the actual travel that it took to get my jaw to bite down is a lot shorter, and took a little bit of adjusting to, because before everything was just so wide open and disproportionate that now I'm in a position where it's not as it doesn't take as long to bite down on it, so on the food. So that's really really nice, and certainly I don't want to take it for granted what I'm able to do now for chewing. So uh, there certainly has been some bumps along the way, and also back to the food thing real quick. I can't chew on like pieces of chicken yet or turkey. It's too hard. Kind of stinks, but it is what it is. But also, since I've gotten back to campus, I've had a few like jaw spasms, where like if I were to yawn or just I don't even know how to describe it, but the muscles, because they're still trying to generate together and everything's still trying to fuse together, it tries to go back to where it was, and you kind of just have to hold your mouth in place for a few seconds before it subsides. So it can be painful. It doesn't last for more than like 5 seconds, but it's definitely painful. Um, so that's the only. Oh, and also every now and then, it's not consistent, but my jaw will sort of like click still a little bit, but definitely not consistent, and definitely not like what it used to be. So that's really nice and a big improvement. And as the bite comes into form, I certainly hope that the jaw won't um, grow anymore. The jaw bones grow out back here, and so if it grows again, then all of this will be um, kind of wasted. So I'm really hoping that the jaw doesn't grow. But I'm definitely fortunate that I've been able to start eating again, and um, it's just been nothing but positive progress so far. So maybe I'll have an update for you all in uh, a week or two. But until then, stay warm and stay safe.